Abdoulaye was a very, very good boy.
Avant tout, je m'incline devant la mémoire de notre camarade étudiant.
I bow in memory of our fellow student who we accompanied this evening to his final resting place.
A promising future cut short, a dream truncated. For families, the pain remains raw, the questions unanswered.
Not easy for the mother.
What began as a student protest at one of West Africa's most prestigious universities would soon spiral into tragedy.
At a certain time, I saw the police coming in. When I saw them coming in and I left the place, I do know that each time that the police came in the campus, something is going to happen.
On Monday, February 9, 2026, tragedy struck the Cheikh Anta Diop University in Dakar, Senegal. 20-year-old Abdoulaye Ba, a second-year student in the Faculty of Medicine, Dentistry and Pharmacy, lost his life in circumstances that would shock the university community and spark nationwide outrage. For many students and observers, the day would come to symbolize one of the darkest moments in the institution's recent history. Days earlier, on February 6, students had taken to the campus to protest changes to their government stipends and scholarship systems. Reforms, they say, were introduced without consultation with the student body. For thousands of students, these stipends are more than financial assistance. They are lifeline helping to cover rent, purchase textbooks, and meet basic living expenses while pursuing higher education. But what began as a student protest soon escalated into a tense confrontation days after. Security forces entered the university campus in blatant violations of human rights, assaulted students who staged the protest on Friday, February 6. Public reactions went raged and emotional. Across social media and in the street, citizens demanded justice for Abdoulaye Ba. Among those speaking out was Senegalese parliamentarian Anta Babacar Ngom. In a social media post, she called for reforms to prevent violent confrontation between students and security forces.
That death could have been avoided. Enough is enough. Enough of the violence on campus. Enough. Students treated like just an adjustment variable. Enough of seeing the future of our youth compromised by indifference and improvisations. As a member of parliament, out of respect for Abdoulaye Ba and my duty to all Senegal students, I demand answers, profound reforms and courageous decisions. More than ever, it is time to open the general state of the University of Senegalese. There is no future for a country that sacrifices its youth and students.
However, during a press conference, Senegal's public prosecutor, Ibrahim Ndoye, rejected accusations that police brutality caused Ba's death. According to him, an autopsy concluded the student died after falling from the top floor of a building.
Abdoulaye Ba, may God have mercy on him. When he tried to jump from the fourth floor, he lost his balance. If you look closely at the picture, it looks like he slipped. So we dare say that he jumped. They don't explicitly say that he jumped, but that he fell. That is why, during the fall, his left side hit the pavement first, causing the injuries.
But the explanation did little to calm public anger. For the grieving family and many students, the prosecutor's statement raised more questions than answers. They believe the truth was yet to be told. On February 11, under Islamic tradition, Abdoulaye Ba was laid to rest. As the sun dipped below the horizon, friends and relatives gathered in quiet grief, a life filled with promise lowered into the earth.
Avant tout, je m'incline devant la mémoire de notre camarade étudiant.
I bow in memory of our fellow student who we accompanied this evening to his final resting place. It is with great bitterness and sadness that we speak as students tonight, because this is the life of a student. A student was killed, a student was eliminated. We must remember the facts. Claiming a scholarship is a right, and this right must be guaranteed.
It's all over, a dream shattered for an ambitious medical student, Abdoulaye Ba. Today, family and friends and loved ones have come to pay their last respect to him at the cemetery Diop right here in Dakar. And there, in there is where his remains are, a dream shattered as a result of police brutality. And this obviously leaves the question of for how long will the continent and the sub-region be losing many of its students as a result of police brutality. To ease tensions and allow investigations to proceed, university authorities closed the campus indefinitely. But the closure did little to erase the trauma many students say they experienced that day. Addressing the National Assembly of Senegal, Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko acknowledged that the government authorized police deployment to the campus. However, he insisted officers were sent only to maintain order, not to assault students.
Yes, when this happened, there were some errors, we must say it, because police officers who were sent and given instructions to go, they didn't go on time. That delay caused many casualties and even led to the students getting the chance to attack the canteen. That was when the police intervention happened. That was the fault of the security forces. Other casualties that happened we will not admit. Forcefully holding students and beating them up wasn't an order from us, and we have done our duty by carrying out an investigation into the incident.
It's almost 30 minutes past 9 o'clock in the evening, and Abdoulaye Ba, who is the uncle of the late Abdoulaye Ba, has just called me, and so I'm on my way to his residence to have an exclusive interview with a family member about how the family is actually dealing with the death of young Abdoulaye Ba in this particular trying moment. After nearly an hour of driving, I arrived at the home of the family spokesperson and uncle of Abdoulaye Ba, Abdoulaye Ba. Here, grief still hangs heavily in the air. He tells me that after months of the sad incident, the family is yet to receive the doctor's autopsy report. However, he denounced the state prosecutor's position that his nephew jumped from a building.
It's not easy for us to trust that, really, because I know who was Abdullah. Why can Abdullah will jump from the 4 floors to down? It's not acceptable, really. The difficult is till now we are still waiting for the autopsy report. We didn't get it from the authority till now. We are still waiting for. We are seeing more reports at the media, but we cannot understand till now why we cannot get it.
As the only son of the mother, Abdoulaye Ba, the family says February 9, 2026 will forever be etched as one of the darkest days in the family.
Not easy for the mother. Our sister, it's not easy for her. She's all time she's crying all time. When you evoke Abdullah, she's crying all time. She's crying all time.
Fear gripped many students. Several declined to speak publicly, but one survivor agreed to share his story anonymously. We will call him Boubacar. He gives an account of what truly happened on February 9.
Bon, le jour de l'intervention, c'est le lundi 9 février.
Well,
On the day of the raid, Monday, February 9 at 9 a.m., or at least around 9 to 10 a.m., we sensed the police were inside the university. I was getting ready to leave for school when I heard "Shots off. The police are inside." We stayed in our rooms, observing the scene of the action until 4 or 5 p.m. The police were still inside the university. Around 6 p.m., they really started attacking our dorms, and unfortunately, our dorm was the hardest hit because that's where the student who lost his life lived. Our doors were broken down, we were beaten, we were injured. So these are truly deplorable events that we experienced.
While government communications machinery suggests a confrontation, Boubacar says that was untruth.
A confrontation? Well, it wasn't a confrontation because they came and broke down the door. We tried to defend ourselves with what we had, the bed and the table. But unfortunately, one officer threatened to fire a tear gas grenade at us. After we opened the door, they really beat us up.
He tells me how he almost lost his sight to the brutality.
When they put me on a mattress, a group of police officers really hit me. That's when I felt an injury on my right hand. Then they transferred me into a second group who were in the bathroom. I think it was this group who injured my eye. It was truly unimaginable violence, the likes of which we've never experienced before. And we don't understand why. Finding the students in their rooms, dragging them out, bringing in others, some into vans, others into the rooms, to really assault them. That for me is unacceptable, and we shouldn't have gone this far. Then I have many injuries from that violence. There was my hand, my foot, and my eye. It was afterward that I realized my vision was impaired because my right eye was blind.
During the university's closure, the campus appeared deserted, its lecture halls silent. Weeks later, on Thursday, February 26, authorities announced the reopening of the institution. For some students, the fear remains, but for Boubacar, he remains indifferent.
I'm already thinking about the consequences. If, for example, I had lost an eye, it could be lifelong disability. Some students have lost limbs and would therefore also be disabled for life. Psychologically, I'm not discouraged by the idea of returning to campus. We are going back because we chose to study. Even if I finish the program, I might be able to leave since it will be done. As students, we are required to live on campus, especially since we don't live in Dakar.
While attempts to reach the university's authorities was unsuccessful, a member of the Autonomous Union of Higher Education Teachers, SAES, at the Cheikh Anta Diop University, in an anonymous text, condemned the violence.
Regarding the police intervention on campus, the Independent Union of Higher Education at UCAD reiterates our unwavering commitment to respecting academic freedom. The university is a space for knowledge, debate, and academic liberty. Any intervention by law enforcement on campus must be strictly controlled, proportionate, and justified by an exceptional situation. The absolute priority remains the preservation of human life and the physical integrity of students, faculty, and administrative staff.
The Autonomous Union of Higher Education Teachers, SAES, for university lecturers in Senegal, called for effective dialogue to resolve student and administration grievances.
On student grant reforms, social issues, particularly those related to grants, are key factors in university stability. Any reform affecting students' living conditions must be collaborative, transparent, and gradual. When there is insufficient dialogue beforehand, misunderstandings accumulate and can lead to tensions. We believe that a permanent framework for consultation is essential.
For Denis Ndou, president of the Senegalese Human Rights League, the case demands a transparent investigation. He says justice must be served not only for Abdoulaye Ba, but for all victims of excessive force, calling for an end to recurrent police-student violence.
police brutality is not something new in our environment, especially in Dakar and especially in universities. It looks like every time we have a new regime coming to power, we have to lose some students. And this is unfortunate because doing a protest doesn't mean killing people. There are rules to follow when you want to bring police inside the campus. So we know that the rule was not respected because, first of all, it has to be coming from the university, asking them to come. That was not the case.
This tragedy is not isolated. Across West Africa, protests have sometimes turned deadly. In Ghana, 19-year-old student Victor Owusu was shot during a student protest in Nkoronza in 2022. In Sierra Leone, student Peter Tifa died during police intervention in student protests in 2017. Others were severely injured, while dozens were arrested in an attempt to quell protests by students of the University of Njala in the city of Bo. The student protest was to denounce what they call government's lack of interest in solving lecturer strike action since November 2016, a move that negatively impacted academic activities. In the Gambia, police used tear gas against students at the University of the Gambia, UTG, during demonstrations in 2024. The peaceful demonstration was to oppose the dismissal of 2 lecturers. However, riot police intervened with disproportionate force, including the use of tear gas. Although no one died, many students sustained various degrees of injuries. Retired police officer and former Deputy Director General of the Liberian National Security Agency, Sam Seyo, says police brutality is unacceptable. He argues that security forces must prioritize peaceful persuasion and dialogue when managing protests.
The remedy for police brutality has always been peaceful persuasion. You don't have imminent threat, there is no need to use deadly force. That is against the law. Except the officer action is sanctioned by government. If there's a repressive government that sanctions that attack, that believes that it could crack down on protesters, then that government sanction it. The action of the police, you will find out that the police officer will not be charged. You find out they will not be investigated because their action, their deadly force, is being backed by the government, and sometimes it don't happen. But more democratic institutions, democratic state, when you deadly force of that nature, you get arrested, you the police officer, investigator, and charged to court.
As lectures resume at the Cheikh Anta Diop University, many students return to campus under a cloud of fear and uncertainty. With the memory of Abdoulaye Ba still fresh, a stark reminder of the fragile line between protest and tragedy. Months after the fatal incident, students say little has been done to support those affected. They point to the absence of financial compensation for victims and a lack of psychological care for those left traumatized. Some injured students, speaking anonymously, say they continue to navigate campus with anxiety, citing concerns over their safety and what they describe as inadequate protection. There is also growing frustration over what students see as limited progress in investigations into the February 9 clashes on campus. Many believe the response has fallen short of expectations, while relative calm has returned to campus, helped in by the payment of current scholarships and the recent reforms. Students remain concerned about delays in settling outstanding allowances for the 2024-2025 academic year. For the family of Abdoulaye Ba, justice remains central to healing. Meanwhile, stakeholders are calling for sustained dialogue, accountability, and improved communication to prevent the reoccurrence of such incidents and ensure a safer academic environment. For WADR, I am Christopher Atijo.